All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is another episode of Tactical MIDI. Today we're gonna talk about the Tonverk for beginners. I'm gonna try to make it as simple as possible. I know that some on our community uh, has have purchased the Electron Tonverk and they're in the process of learning, which is pretty cool that other people are joining in this effort of learning here what as much as they can, right? So I'm just gonna give up some of my knowledge from it, right? And we're gonna start like right away. uh okay, so the Tonverk consists of 16 channels. You got 16 channels total, but the channels are divided into 8 tracks for instrumentation, 4 tracks, 9, 10, 11, and 12 for buses, 13, 14, and 15, there are send effects, and then you got 16, which is your basically your master or mix channel. It receives all the audio to the mix, all right? And then from the mix, it goes out. The Tonverk has 2 sets of outputs, A, B, C, and D, and a set of inputs, A and B. We're not going to talk about those things yet. And it's very simple. This machine is not that complicated. So we're going to press function and source. And this is basically your list of sources or audio sources. These are the machines that the Tonverk has, which is single player, which plays one single shot audio sample, and it can be played polyphonically. You have the multiplayer, which plays multi-sampled instrument like synthesizers or real instruments, whatever you choose to multi-sample. That way you can lay out on your keyboard, you can lay out every single note, and it will have like a range of notes that you can choose. You can choose also an amount of velocities that it can sample. So you can sample like a lot of different velocities, so it can sound more natural, like a piano or something like that. Then you have subtracks, and subtracks basically takes the polyphony of a track and divides it into 8 separate tracks, and each of those tracks has a separate sequencer. So it's like one track with 8 sounds, which each sound has its own sequencer. Plus, you have the super sequencer that is used to sequence effects and things like that. All right. Then you have the grainer, which is a granular synthesis engine that plays single shots and modifies them by applying granular synthesis to them. Then you have the wavefinder, which is a dual wavetable synthesizer. Okay. And that's pretty much it. Now we're going to go back on the right section right here. Right now we are running single player, which is a very simple type of machine. And then you have trigger. Now this page, which is the trigger page, you can choose it lets you choose your root note that you're gonna be playing down here. So if you have a sound and it's on C5, when you press the audition button, which is this one, the audition button. Let me see. I'm having dropouts for some reason. Mhm. Let me see my audio codec. Okay. Oh, no wonder. Well, it doesn't let me check that. Anyway, we're back. Um, hopefully you can see it. Hopefully it doesn't mess up that much. So we have the audition button right here, which is number one. That's all cool and all awesome thing. Uh, then you have your velocity. You can choose your velocity. Where you're when you're auditioning, you can set how much velocity, or when you're using your keyboard, since it's not velocity sensitive, you can choose here values from 0 to 127 on your velocity, right? And it usually starts at 100. And then you have length. That means that when you record a step or you put down a step on the sequencer, it has the length of how many steps is going to be. In this moment is set to 1/4, which is 4 steps. And you can go all the way to 128 steps. So like one step can run all the way down to 128 step, which is awesome. All right. Then you have probability. You got 100, and you can run it from 0 to 100 on your probability, and that sets the probability on the step that you're recording, right? You have retrig, which basically this is like retrigging, like ratcheting type. And then the rhythm, that's the velocity or the division of how fast the retrigger is going to play. You can go 1:1 all the way to 1/80th. So it has a pretty high resolution, which I like about Electron. They give us a lot of stuff. This one here is repeat velocity, right? You can control the velocity of the repeat, which is cool. And then you have trigger conditions. So that means this doesn't work. It's locked out because you don't have a trigger down. So you have to hold a trigger to be able to set this. So the only way you can set that up is hitting the record button, putting down a trigger, holding that trigger, and it lets you check out the different conditions. You got fill with no sound. This is like fill, like adding a sound. This one with the line on top is to kill the sound when you press this fill button. Then you got pre, and I don't know everything, but it's probably pre. I think it's one time that it does the sound that you are adding it to it. It'll do it just one time in the sequence. Not neighbor. So neighbor is like depending on the neighbor tracks trigger, it will trigger your sound. And first, I think is the first one, and with the line, anything with the little line on top, that means that hello Blair's be like anything with a line on top means that it is not letting, it's like muting, and when without the line is letting that sound play. And then you got 1 of 2 bars, 2 of 2 bars, 1 of 3 measures, and so on and so forth. So you can, it gives you the option to not play it every 4 bars, every 4 measures, or play it every 4 measures. So trigger conditions, I'm not gonna go into it because I'm not an expert on trigger conditions, and I use them, but it's kind of hard to explain right now because this is for the beginner right now. Okay, so now we're going to the filter section. Filter section is very easy. You have a filter here, a multimode filter basically, and you can cut the filtering. And let's load a sound right quick. Just one small sound so you can hear how that works. Um, mm, 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 mm. You want simple sound here, right quick. Let's go. Let's do this one and load that sample. And as you can see, I'm flying with it. You got to go to source and then you got to apply the sound, which is, and every time you load a sound, it will appear on a list and you have plenty of space, A to H, all the way down to 127 sounds per row. That's a huge amount of samples. So now we're on the filter page. We have our sound loaded and we're gonna sound it. At a trig condition. As you can see, that's our trig. And now the filter is easy. Here is a low pass filter. You can add resonance with letter F. You can add resonance. This is easy stuff. All right, so that's resonance. But if you turn it the other way here on the multi-mode, you can turn into a high pass. That's very easy. If you want to clear it out, you don't like what you did, you hold filter and the play button, which is clear, and it will clear the page, the filter page. The filter is very explained. If you had any experience with synthesizers, you pretty much know how filters work. And you have the amp page easily. This is a ADSR amp, which is attack, hold, release, something like that. You know what I mean, the ADSR. So the ADSR has 4 points, as you can see here. It has attack, decay, sustain, and time. And it can choose how long your sound will sound after you let go, or how fast the volume ramps up on your sound. If you can put a long time release, it will go all the way. If we put a loop, it will go probably loop forever. No, let me see. You gotta hold it to loop. Yeah. So it will give you like a complete one shot if you put a long release. These are simple stuff that most of us, everybody knows. Easy stuff. Then you got the effects page. On the effects page, you have all the options to send to your send effects. You got send 1, 2, and 3. And then you got your audio routing, which you can go jump from audio A, B, mix out, CD out, EF, which is this guy right here. I believe there's earphones, right? And then you can send your audio to bus 1, bus 2, bus 3, bus 4, and that's it. That's pretty much it. Where you can send it at this moment. The second page, which is gonna be our first FX slot, you can press function and effects, and that will bring you to the page where you can choose what effects do you want, and we have plenty of effects. Same thing with the second effect slot. You press function and effects, and you can also choose here what types of effects you want. How's it going, Mark Anderson? Now we're going to the modulation page, which is all the way to the right, and you have 5 different kinds of modulators. The first two modulators, they modulate and most of the parameters on your source engine, right? So that's 1 and 2. And then you have the third modulator is a modulation envelope, which can do either the source or the effects. If I'm not mistaken, let me see. You can modulate LFO2, the amp, the filter, and the source. All right, and the source will be the source of your sound or the synthesizer engine that you have. And then the last two LFOs or modulators are gonna be they're gonna be for your effects lanes, routing sends, the amp level, routing output, send 1, 2, and 3 amount. That's, and if you have an effect like chrono pitch, and then you go here, now it'll give you more options for the effects. You got FX tune, FX window, FX feedback, filter, and so on. So it's basically, you're gonna basically have two LFOs here, FX LFO1 and FX LFO2 for your effects. That way you can do crazy routing. As you can see here, everything correlates, and everything on your screen correlates with these 8 buttons right here. So, you know, this one, this first two, they take up 2 slots. You see, it takes 2 slots of the screen. So then you have the slew, and then you have the type of modulation, and then the mode could be a free, trig, hold, one shot, half, and so on, and the last, yeah, and half, right? And this button right here is the def, right? It's easy. It's easy to bring everything back to 0 holding your function button, which is amazing. Now, the most important thing that you're gonna have to understand about the working with Electron is mostly the sequencer, because the sequencer is the heart of the whole tone, or of the whole Electron way of working. And you know the sequencer is the most the craziest, I would say, one of the craziest sequencers that you can have on a piece of electronic hardware, and it will let you do many things. I don't know if I should go into deep with that, because I don't know if it's how you quickly send a track to a bus like a punching effect. Could you figure that out when I played the Tonverk in the music store? Easy. That one is easy to do. If just get the hack right here. Let's say you're in track 1 and you want to send track 1 to bus 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. You have it here, okay? When you see it here, you have everything that it has a green color. That means that it has a second function. So function is green, and then you have the green letters, right? So if I press function and perform, it's gonna send me to perform, right? If I press function and transition, it's gonna show me the transition menu. And those are different ways of transitioning patterns, right? So, and then now routing, that's where you're going to do it. So you press function, routing, and you're in the routing page right then and there. Okay. I want to know if the video is coming out good and the audio is not cutting out. That's one of the most important things at this moment. You guys let me know. So you have mix 1, here, you can either do it here, you can send where the mix track can go, right? But if you want to do it suddenly, how do you do it? So you're gonna hold the channel that you want to send, and then you can press where you want to send it on the buses here. You can send it to bus 1 by just pressing 1 and 9, whoop, bus number 1, or pressing 1 and 2 for bus number 2, and so on and so forth, right? And then you cannot route it to track 13. You cannot route it to track 14. You cannot route it to track 15, but you can route it to AB, which is normal. So I'm just gonna put, I don't know if I should, but I'm gonna put here 1. We're gonna put 1 down for let's do a pattern of 32 or 16, because you're starting off. We haven't got there yet. We're gonna get there soon. And you want it to play. And then you can press routing and send it to bus 1, which you're not gonna hear a difference, right? And then to go back, press 1 and mix, and you're back. Okay, so what's happening? That if you press track and number 9, that's gonna send us to the page of the bus 1. And if we press function and effects, you can choose the effect that you wanna have. And let's say I'm gonna do this like that, and I'm gonna put some drive so it can sound hard. There you go. And now we're gonna send it. I'm gonna show you how to send it. So press track and number 1, and you're back to track number 1. Then you're gonna select function and mute, which is routing, and now you're at the routing page. We're gonna hit play. Sorry, here. And it's running. Let me show you, because sometimes we want to see. So we're there in the routing, which is function and routing, gets you in the right. So we're going to hold number 1, and number 9 is going to send it to bus number 1, and you're going to be able to hear the effects. Now we press number 1 and 16, back to normal. Again. Then number 1 and 16. And you're gonna be like, yeah, but that's not that great. I mean, we understand. So we're gonna go to number 9, and we're gonna go to the filter page, right? But before we go to the filter page, we're gonna go to mode, and you can take your bus and you can play with the filter. And we're gonna mess with the high frequency, and we're gonna put a square, and yeah, we're gonna add some. We're gonna put it at 32 BPM, which is the multiplier, and we're gonna put it here at 64 on the def. And when we change the send from sending the track number 1 to the mix, from track number 1 to bus number 1, you're gonna hear the difference. Let's hit play. Press 1, then number 9, and you will activate bus number 1. Now you can hear it. Then Go to routing again, which is function and routing. Press number 1 and 16, and you're back out to normal. Press number 1 and 9. Then number 1 and so that's the way to do it. So that, I hope that cleared your question, Blairy. It's awesome. It's an awesome way of doing it. It's an awesome way of doing it. You can also press here, clear your effects page, put everything back to normal. And the modifier, you just hold modify and clear, and that will clear your modifier, so you're back to normal. And you press track and go back to track number 1, and you're back. You don't even need a keyboard if you're out there in the world. You don't need a keyboard. Let's say you're brand new, so you want to do something by yourself. So you don't know how to play that well, so you want to start playing something quick and easy. So we're gonna activate by pressing function and ARP, the arpeggiator. So you press function and ARP, and the arpeggiator turns on, and whatever you press is gonna arpeggiate it for you. Like, let's do a major key. Right? All right, so you hold in 1, 3, 5. That's a chord. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take this one off. So you press it, take it off. And what you're gonna do is just gonna hold, you're gonna press 1, 3, 5, and then press number 1. I don't know if you can see it. So we're gonna press 1, 3, 5, and then press number 1. And you made a little bit of an arpeggiator. Let me see. Okay, no, I'm wrong. So you're gonna go to step edit, number 1. And when you press step edit, you can add the sounds that you want. Let's say you want all those 4, then press step edit again. No, first you're gonna, there you go. You see? Let's do it again. All right, let's do it again. Let's say you want to play a chord, and you want to build the chord that you want or that you heard, but you don't know how to play it. So you want to do it by hand, right? That's cool. So you press, while this is on, you have to have the recording button on, right? So you press the record button on, then press step edit, and then here's going to show you which track, what track you are in, you know, or is it one track, or I think this is the step, which step you're on. So you're on step 1, and you're going to build your 3 notes that you want in step number 1. So you put 1, 3, 5, then turn it off, right? That's cool. But now you want that to go all the way to your 16 steps, because you're not satisfied that you just do half. It's like 5 steps, 4 steps, right? So you're gonna hold your trigger, and then go to trig page, press trig page, and you go to length, and it's gonna give you 5, 6, 7, 8. We're gonna go all the way to 16. So now we populated the whole, like, it's gonna hold that note throughout all 16 steps. And now you have an arpeggio. All right, that's cool. You have an arpeggio. And let's say you don't like the arpeggio because it's too simple for you. So you're gonna go and press you're gonna double tap ARP. Oh, tap ARP one more time, and it's gonna bring you to your sequencer, right? And here you have your mode, the mode of how the arpeggiation is gonna move, either up, down, or true, or sequence. The sequence is down below here. You can add also variation to the sequence. And this is basically each one of these dots on the bottom basically is like the pitch of that step. So you can change the steps pitch on each one of those, and that's pretty cool. And over here where it says arpeggiation length, you can choose like a sub arpeggiation of the pitch inside of the arpeggiator. That's if we want to make it complicated. Right now I don't like it because it's too simple. Actually, let's put some more volume here to this. I think it's way too low compared to my voice, you know. Now we're gonna add some range. Now the note length, you can lower it, so that's how fast, how short is the note. So you can do that. And then you got the speed. And then, like I said, the mode, you can change it. So you got random, you got cycle, you got down, and you got up. And then you got true. True means, I think true means, if I'm not mistaken, is which sounds you chose at the time of recording, which notes you press first, second, and third, and it will keep that what you may call that same order of notes that you decided to play while recording it or while on step edit. Okay, so keep that in mind when you make it. If you don't like it, it might be that you want it on a different, a different way. So now you can just go back and you can turn it off. You can turn off that mode and we're back to normal. Now you see that the audio cuts. It will cut because as you can see here, our sample stops right there. And that's part of the source. You can fix that by cutting the end right there, right? And then you can set up a loop points and then put it into loop mode, and you can crossfade it. That way it doesn't sound like that way it doesn't sound. You can cut it. So this is a sampler, right? It's a polyphonic sampler, right? And we're using the very first source, which is single player, which is cool. I mean, I don't know how many other questions you will like to have. Is that there's so many options in here, and I suggest that you start practicing every day, read the manual, go to the YouTube and find out there's a lot of tutorials that are way like they're a little bit better, probably focused on one function per se. Right now, we are using a single player, but if you want to go with drums, you can use subtracks for drums, which is pretty cool, right? But right now, um, let's say we put a step down, and you want a different timing on that step, so you hold the step and you go either with the arrows, right? You can go up, so you got micro timing. You can go down, you can go all the way up almost to the next step, and that way if you ever record it, go down here, and that's the middle right there. If you ever missed, like if you're like, because you can do live recording with this machine also, you can do it unquantized and quantized, and we can do that by doing that on the tempo section. But now I want to show you another trick, and this trick means that, let's say you want to play chords, you don't know how to build a chord, so you want to play a chord the easy way. That way you don't need to, like, you're starting off, you don't know where to start or where to set your sound into the directions. You're not gonna hit chord, and here you got a whole chord scale mode if you want. So here on the E, on knob number E, you can turn it on by switching it to the right, and then you got the root note next to it, and then the scale. Let's choose a chromatic scale, and let's choose a minor scale. And now, by the press of one button, you get full chords in minor scale, like here. Now the arpeggiator works together with this mode. So if you press function and ARP and turn on the arpeggiator, it will arpeggiate your chord mode. So that way you don't need to build, that all the way. So now when you press it, now one thing to remember about this mode right here is that when you have chord mode and ARP mode, right, on track number 1, you're gonna have to leave them on. There's no way of baking the arpeggiation into it, right? So if you put down a note and then you got a trigger and then you set it for 16 steps, which we are working on 16 steps, and you press play, and I'm gonna try. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see if it does bake the arpeggiation, which I doubt it, but it doesn't, right? So we're gonna press record and play, and then now we're gonna stop recording. As you can see, it did not bake it into the, what it actually got recorded was your chord is the only thing recorded from this, and that's if you have chord mode on. If you turn chord mode off, you're gonna get one sound. This is good to know, because you can get confused thinking that it will bake into the sequencer the arpeggiation, and it won't do that. Like, we press play. You see, I'm gonna press play and then activate them. Let me hit it here. I'm gonna put some metronome. Then we turn on the ARP. Okay, cool thing about this machine, let's say you like that, and you know, there's so many ways of working with this machine. You can even, if you want it, you can consider it resampling. You can go to your sampler here, and as you can see, you can sample your own sound. You can set a little bit of that threshold. You can choose the length. Right now we are at 104 bars. We can arm it, and you can press play like that. Yo, what the hell? Let's go here. No. Record. Let's arm it, and let's press play. This method is a little bit advanced, but it works because now you can have the arpeggiation that you made, and you can just have it, and you can even send it to a subtrack, and that subtrack can hold that arpeggiation for you, and you can save a lot of tracks this way, or you can either use it and create a newer variation by mangling the sound and things like that. But right now, let's close this for the moment. Let's hit play again. Let's take this off. Let's put down trigger like we did earlier. We put a step, it's very short. Let's put the length on 16. Now, if you don't want to do that all the time, okay, let's go back, right? If you don't want to do that all the time with the arpeggiator and the chord on, just set the length before you put down the step. You put it to 16. Now you put the step down. Now you hit play. And there you go. You got your arpeggiation back again. Okay, crazy thing that I want to show you is pretty cool because the Electron sequencer will let you put what is called triggerless trigs. And I know that this is a little bit advanced, but I'm trying to trying to get you like a little bit over the edge, you know? So you press function, and let's say 5 and 9 and 13. These steps are not gonna give you any noise. These steps are only to make modifications. In this case, the arpeggiator can be modified per step, which is awesome. I believe is the Tonverk I think it's the only one that does it. I'm not sure, but it's pretty cool. The Analog 4 doesn't do it. I have it here, doesn't do it. and the Digitone one doesn't do it. I don't have the newer Digitone Digitac just because I really don't think I need them right now, but it's just because I love my analog rhythm, and if I buy a Digitact, it will hinder me from using the Octatrack and the analog rhythm. So I'm not gonna get it. So you can go into the ARP menu. You can hold that triggerless trig, which is yellow. I don't know if you can see it. It's a yellow color. Hold it, and we can change the speed of this step, right? We're gonna go to number 9, and we're gonna change the speed to 32 dot, and we're gonna go to 13 and change the arpeggiation to down. We're gonna go to 5 and change the arpeggiation to cycle. We're gonna go 13 and randomize the arpeggiation, and we're gonna go 16 dot. Okay, now it's gonna drastically change everything. And you can go back to the arpeggiation menu and hold, let's say number 9, you don't like it. Let's say we're gonna put this one. Let's change the range to 6. Let's change the speed 32. So you basically made something different. If you don't like it, just press them twice. And that way you don't have them anymore. You go back to your first harp. And that's pretty cool, man. Like, you can do multiple steps. And when it comes to chords, you can use the chord mode. Like I said, you can turn the chord mode off. Let's turn it off. And let's turn the arpeggiation off, right? It's off right now. So we're gonna go into chord, and we're gonna use guide right up here, the first knob number 8. We're gonna turn it. You can turn the guide to light or snap. Let's put snap. So what it's gonna do is gonna take your scale and snap it. We're gonna use a minor 7. It's gonna snap right here your keyboard. Only the onboard keyboard, this keyboard. It's gonna snap it to chromatic minor 7th, and whatever you play is gonna stay inside of that minor 7th, and you can check it out. Let's put a minor so you can, or a major chord. It's always gonna stay in major. Well, hold on, it's not snapping. Let's see. Filter. That's the one you want to use. Filter. Let me see if it's that, if I'm not mistaken. And not on chromatic, because chromatic doesn't let you. You have to put it on the other scale. Like, let's say Dorian. It will keep Dorian. You can get the shape. I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep it cool. It's not gonna do it on chromatic. Sorry about that. It's not gonna do it on chromatic. It's gonna do it. Let me see on chromatic. Let's see if it does something. Okay, so light basically is the lights is gonna tell you where you gotta press, right? So if you put light and then you cannot do it on chromatic, but if you change it to like a Dorian 3135, which is major, it will show you right here. You will see the lights that are not part of that scale are gonna be off. So now you got. And then if you choose snap, it's gonna snap the scale even if you miss. Let's say you didn't touch this one. So on snap. And if you choose filter, it's gonna turn off these ones. Even if you touch them, the ones that are off, they're not gonna sound. So man, you have a way of doing this and it will guide you. 1 3 1 3 5 1 5. That's pretty cool. If you wanna start, you can do chord mode in that scale. You know, it sounds pretty cool. I love it. I love every minute of it. Okay, so I'm gonna turn chord mode off, and we're gonna stay in chromatic. That means that everything's normal. You have the song mode. I haven't even used song mode. I have to start practicing song mode. I just don't know how it works. I usually trigger my own stuff, like pattern. I can just put like multiple patterns one after the other. And that's what usually I do when I'm playing live. So right now we're in pattern 1. I gotta get the song mode down. I haven't practiced it yet, but I will. I promise I will one of these days. All of the Electron boxes have song mode. I just barely use it. I barely use it because when I change, because when I'm performing live, I just want to be able to control the next pattern and the next pattern, so on, so forward. Let me see what else can I cover. You have arpeggiator, chord mode, song. We covered already the track here. Like one thing here, when you press function and perform mode is basically you can mangle and mess up your audio, and it will not mess up the original work that you did on your track. So when you press function and perform again, deactivate it, it goes back to where you left off from the beginning, which is cool because that way you can mess around with your stuff and go back to normal, or go back to normal. Yeah, it's a different way of working. I guess it's a different way of working. There's a lot of stuff they need to work here. I'm not sure if it has like a reload, or where do I reload again? Let me see. Pattern. No. There's no pattern reload. I think you have down here, you have 2 buttons. You have recall and memorize. So to do the pattern reload, you have to do it because I already know the older boxes, they have reload pattern. On this box, on the Tonverk, you have you will have to memorize your current work that you're doing. So you press function and memorize, and you just memorize the pattern, right? So let's say you messed it up, something happened you didn't like, you press function and recall, and it will go back exactly to the previous state that you were when you save your pattern. It goes back to the pattern itself. That's a cool way of doing it. Um, you know, that's pretty cool. Then you have here your metronome area, and in your metronome area you can set your pre-roll count, which is awesome if you're gonna do live recording. If you're gonna play lively, you can add 1, 2, 3, 4 bars, 6 bars, 8 bars. You can do like infinite, up to 16 bars of pre-roll. So if you want to wait 16 bars to start playing and recording what you're doing, you can do so. And can give you the metronome. The metronome has a gain. It has a time signature. You have a whole bunch of time signatures here. All kinds of time signatures are right there. You can change it to other time signatures, which I haven't. I need to start, messing with different time signatures in my life, but I guess, I don't know. I will get there eventually. All right. And then the metronome, the sound of the metronome, you cannot change it. It's the one they give you. And then the gain, you can set up the gain. And then you have the swing. It's doing swing by itself? What the heck? Let me stop it here. Clear. I don't know why it's doing that. The swing thing. Hold on. Oh, it's back. It's back to normal. Um. So you have the swing, and right here you got your BPM, which is cool. You can go all the way to 300 on your BPM, which is awesome. It covers all the genres of play. Um, let's talk about one thing that I heard you guys talking about today, and is with the subtracks. You cannot. I don't know why that you guys were saying that you cannot audition your instruments. I can audition them here. Change to the other one. Before you load anything, you can audition it. And I'm going to go all the way to the bottom. You guys might be talking about the presets, the user presets, which are over here. I think you have to load the, let's see, these are mine. Let's see if we can find them here on the SD card user presets. Let's see, where is it? Where is the drum and bass? Yeah, it doesn't let you preview it. It doesn't let you preview like the stuff that you already did, which is kind of sad that you can't. There you go to subtracks. I don't see my samples here. Yeah, I don't see it here. They need to fix that. For sure they're gonna fix it. Um so your subtracks, let's get a subtrack. Let's create a new subtrack. Your subtracks, if you load a new subtracks. Hey, since Samurai, no problems, man. Yeah, catch up tomorrow morning. I'm about to go. I'm not gonna stay here for that long. I'm just gonna overview this thing, whatever's left, and the rest is practice, a lot of practice, and a lot of practice. So, as it says here on the screen, you press function and the step. When you press function and the step, you can either use the drums that come with the Tonverk, which are very good. I love the way they did it. Or you can press back, and then you can choose user and you can get your own drum sets. Here, let's check this one out. That's pretty cool right there. I'm gonna choose that one. Then you're gonna do the same function on the next drum. Then function on the next one. Function on the next one. Oh yeah, Blair's coming live soon. Well, I think we're about time. It's about time I want to watch Blair's beat lab. And you have something here. What I do is I turn the amp to velocity off because and then I go to the amp. So that's pretty much it. It's very easy. If you want to change the sound, you do it again, function, and you hit the step there, or you know the slot, and then you can change your kick. You can go back. So, all the source machines, they have their functions and they're set up right here on the setup menu. That's where all their function lies. Each and every one of them. I suggest you go and explore each machine. Take your time, explore each machine, explore the things that they do. Explore the effects. You're gonna have to explore the whole machine, and that's one of the biggest more funnest parts of having an electron machine is the exploration, and you keep finding things, awesome things in there. You have you have all kinds of synthesis in here. You have wavetable synthesis. You have granular synthesis. You have sample synthesis and multi sample, which also can be mangled and synthesized. And then you have the subtracks, which is basically turns your track into 8-track drum machine. And it has the options of doing a lot of things. This is not a dedicated drum machine as you expect from Tonverk. Don't expect Tonverk to be a fully fledged drum machine, because it's not. But it gives you the option to get your own curated samples. And if you are not satisfied with the samples that you have, you can pretty much do a lot of sound design. You can do your own sound design, resample your drum sounds, and use them in your tracks. And you can't get better than that. Now, future updates are coming. This machine, this machine is gonna be from what I know that it's real, it's gonna have a overbridge, which is awesome. I already tried the overbridge with the analog rhythm, with the analog 4, and with the Digitone 1, and it works flawlessly. And that's me. I have a MacBook M1 Pro, and it's an older MacBook, and it does perform flawlessly. And I say with those three machines, it works at 17% CPU. So that's pretty flexible, because that means that I can multi-track all of these three machines together. And the Tonverk too, because the Tonverk, also what I can do with the Tonverk is I can use it as the audio interface, and it will give me all the audio inputs inside of the mixer, inside of my DAW. Plus, on my DAW, you can load the rest of your machines as VSTs and get your multi-tracking from there also. And it's awesome. I can get all the channels one by one, separate, very nice and neat, and you can just multi-track your stuff. There's, that's a lot. That's a lot. This is a lot to talk about in one video. I'm just doing this to help my fellow friends here that are exploring the Tonverk for the first time. We got the Synth Samurai, which has an awesome channel, and he's exploring the Tonverk, and I want him to go follow through this, because once he gets the grasp of what he can do with this, he's gonna be amazed. The Tonverk, we haven't talked about the MIDI, and the MIDI with the Tonverk, it's awesome. Like, you can get your send channels, and you can turn them into MIDI channels. Like, here we're gonna do that right quick, and we're gonna let me see. They already sent 14, and let me see. No, you can get your buses. Let me see. I think it's your buses, and your buses, you can turn them into MIDI. Let's say you don't need to use all your buses, right? And you can have one bus. You have two synthesizers, or let's say four synthesizers, right? You still will be able to have the effects of the bus. You can still send your bus routing through that channel, but it turns also into a MIDI. So you have right now, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16 total, 16 CC options. So let's say you want to control your external synthesizers, and your external synthesizer has a CC for the filter cutoff. You don't need to you're not gonna need to reach that synthesizer, and you might be able to have your cutoff filter into one of these CC options here. All right. So imagine that you're using this to what you call that? I'm hungry. To sequence your external device, and at the same time control the parameters inside of that external device with this, and you don't have to move your hands. You don't have to move there. You can do it from here. You can do filter sweeps, and on top of that, right? This is the almost awesome part. On top of that, the sequencer can sequence this stuff here. And mod wheel, I'm not sure, but let me see. You see that CC value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, 9, 10, 11, all those CC values all the way to 16. That means that you can send LFO to parameters in your external synths that probably your external synths don't even have an LFO extra for that specific value that you're trying to do. You can, like, you probably have a synthesizer that doesn't have a modulation, let's say a pitch modulation, or it doesn't have there's synthesizers that have limited modulation, but they do have the CCs, and you can send that modulation through the Tonverk into your machine. You know, the capabilities are vast, and if you get this down and you learn it how to use it, you basically are gonna have your live hardware jam. This is gonna be like your brain. And then you can also turn your first 8 tracks into MIDI tracks. Also, it doesn't have to be the buses. They can be 2. You can use 5 channels of the Tonverk, and then the other 3 channels, whatever combination. So I'm gonna let you guys go. Let your imagination fly with this machine, and you're gonna have a great time. One more thing, they've been talking about the outbox of the Electron outbox that is gonna be able to work with the Digitones, Digitact, and all that stuff, which gives you 8 outputs, which is like 4 stereo outputs per machine. Is gonna make the Tonverk a even better machine, because you can buy that outbox for the Tonverk and multi-track the Tonverk without having to track it. You have like 4 outputs, and you can add 8 more outputs to this machine. That will make this machine a very valuable machine. The Octatrack is not gonna be part of those boxes. It's not gonna be able to work, but I see the Octatrack as a hyper mixer, like a hyper DJ mixer that lets you remix on the fly and lets you be more creative with your compositions, right? And that's it. I'm gonna let you guys go. I hope you guys have a great day. This is like super way extra for me, but still, I'm still early. I can go to sleep early today. Ooh. I hope you guys got it, and probably I hope you understood what I had to say today. I hope I could explain myself the best way to do it. I don't know what else to say. I don't have a script. I would have made a script with ChatGPT or something like that, but you see, I just worked 12 hours and I'm doing this for you guys. I really love the art. I really love the passion, and the community is super awesome. I want to give back to the community as much as I can. And yeah, see you guys around. I ain't got no music to go with. Let me see what the DJ says. It'll probably, let me see if there's some music to end this thing today. Let's go. Wow. I don't even know what kinds of musics I got here. What is this? Oh, we're gonna do it with this guy. Let's go with this one. All right, guys, you have a great one. Remember this? Analog rhythm.